Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RMTV Women's Podcast. This is episode 164. We think 164 or 165. I'm pretty sure it's 164. That sounds about right. Yeah, we're back. We're filming on Tuesday. The day is just mixes up each week. Just depends on what's going on with life. But yeah, Tuesday evening here. So two days since Liverpool faced Charlton at Prenton Park, a 0-0, which wasn't ideal, but it's fine. Another point on the board, another step closer to promotion, which is the best way to look at it, I feel like. I don't know, it was kind of it was a very similar game to when we played them away, I thought, in terms of both teams sort of really holding each other back at times. Charlton defended really, really well, I thought, which was really frustrating from our point of view. Yeah, it was kind of like, because we were saying in the build-up to it on last week's podcast, like, oh, is there going to be a change of tactics from either side? But I feel like both teams pretty much went with the same style of play of what he did in the previous week.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a bit touch and go, really, on what would happen in the 90 minutes.
It was, I think it's hard. Like, I definitely think Charlton deserved to take some points over the two games because fair play to them, they defended great, and on times during the game the weekend they looked like they were on top of us and really sort of pushing us to the limit of like our defense as well. So they, credit where credit's due, like they got something out of the two games, which is probably what they deserve. But I think, like, when you look at it from our side, just really frustrating that we couldn't obviously get those 3 points. And to be honest, I said to you, especially like from the first half, like I couldn't really think of many chances that we had. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be fair, either team had. I think a lot more came in the second half, especially like late on into the second half where the game really sort of came alive. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I think Charlton are a lot better than I thought they would be, for sure. And they've got some really, really great players. It's just a shame that we couldn't pick up 3 points. But I knew it was going to happen because me and you were talking at the start of the game, like, oh, if we win today and win next week, we can win the league. And then obviously we weren't going to win today after that. So
yeah, we all got a bit ahead of ourselves because we were all trying to work out like which game it would be. That we could potentially go up and like just sort of seal it, and we were like, oh well, if it goes well today, blah blah blah. But I think Charlton was one of the teams that Matt Beard said at the beginning of the season that he was really like
pinpointed.
Because obviously everyone talks about the Sheffield Uniteds and your Durhams, and I think people wrote like Bristol off very early on as well. I think we did. We said that, you know, they didn't do as well as you thought, and look at them now. So it's kind of one of them, isn't it? You can't really look at a team before the beginning of the season and sort of say where they're going to be, because, you know, we thought we were going to get back in the WSL last season straight away, and it didn't work out. So it's, but no, fair play. I agree. I feel like Charlton did deserve at least 1 point from those two games because they played really well against us. But it's interesting that it was like the last 10 minutes really of the game that Liverpool seemed to really kickstart, because it's almost like in their heads that they knew that we got 3 points, that it was kind of like that little bit closer to sealing the title a bit early. But yeah, there was a couple of refereeing decisions that I think everyone can agree with.
Oh my god, it was the one where we'd clearly been in possession and there was a head injury, or like, fair enough, you meant to like stop the game for a head injury, but I feel like we had the ball, yet it was given to them, and then Taylor Hines got a yellow card, and then everyone's arms were going up in the air, and I was really confused because me and you looked at each other and we were like, what's going on? Like, it was bizarre, the fact that we were I literally don't understand what happened. But like, it's not the first time that those sort of things have impacted us. Obviously, like, we've had so many penalty shouts this season that haven't come our way. And although you can say like, oh, you're still sat at the top of the league, yeah, that's great, but we want to win. We want to score goals. And it's such a shame. But I feel like we're a broken record on this podcast talking about refereeing in the women's game. But I think especially as more money's now getting pumped into the championship, okay, yeah, probably even the WSL, referees still need a little bit of assistance in getting to like the level that they need to be at. But I think we need to remember the championship as well is going to be going up a level. So yeah, it's tough. And many of those decisions probably haven't gone our way this season. But yeah, it just frustrates you in the game. Do you know what I mean? It's just there, like, it's such an obvious thing. Like, we had the ball, we were on the attack, and then it gets given to them. But yeah, it's just a little bit much.
Yeah, I feel like just the referee in England in general needs to.
Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just it's mad. It's mad, honestly. Like, fair play, he stops that in that moment. He stops for the head injury, which is right. Stop for the head injury, but it happened 10, 15 seconds earlier. He didn't stop it straight away. He's heard something off other players, say it was a head injury or, fourth official or whatever. He stopped it and then just,
did anything about it. It was weird. It was all a bit strange.
Yeah.
At least we didn't concede from it, because I remember was it you that said, "Oh, if they go and score now or something?" That would
have been. They did, didn't they? They had a chance like right at the end. With this is it. It's their 1-0 win here, but it thankfully didn't. Another clean sheet for Lawsy as well, which is I wish I knew off the top of my head how many it was now. I should know that.
But it must be like 15, 16 now.
Quite a few. It's quite a few. But I touched on this with Roberts in the post-match at the end. Yeah. Maybe you haven't watched that, we'll link it in the little thing above. But yeah, she said, I was like, it must give the team a lot of confidence that, you've got Lawsy in goal, who's a brilliant keeper. Like Robert said, that she was one of the best keepers that she's ever seen at like her feet as well, that she's played with, which is a huge compliment. But you must have that little thought in your head where you're going into games and you're thinking, we're not going to concede here. We've got a strong back four, back five, back seven, whatever it turns out to be at some points in the game. Back 11, yeah. But yeah, you've got a really strong defensive unit there, basically, which is like, it's so refreshing, I feel like, to see, because you haven't had that in previous seasons. I feel like we've always conceded at least one, but this season we've been so consistent in clean sheets, and yeah, but even when we have, we conceded goals, it's been narrow, like one maybe two in a game, so it must give it a big boost. But it's interesting, like, I'm looking at the lineup from Sunday, because it was like, oh, what's he going to go for? It was a midfield of basically Fairness and Humphrey.
Yeah.
And you had, like, obviously your wing backs and stuff in Wardlaw and Hines, and then Daniels, Lawley and Stengel up front. I don't know this. Do you think we maybe could have benefited from a Leanne Kiernan from the very first minute, with just how pacey she is, and how, because I feel like when she came on, she didn't really do a lot. I felt like her movement was quite good, but I don't feel like she really got enough of the ball to make an immediate impact. But I feel like maybe if she'd have started, she could have had that opportunity.
I think so, yeah. I think what Leanne Kiernan brings is that, like, energy, the running in behind, the through balls behind their defence, and running either down the wing, either side. She brings that sort of mobility at the front, and because she is so quick and she's so agile, I mean, arguably you would have thought her coming on at the end of the game when Charlton players were tired, and that's a special set of really fast legs that would come on, that you would have imagined that she may have made more of an impact. But I think that point Charlton was such a solid block, there was just no chance of getting in. But I think what I saw more of Kiernan on the weekend, which I thought was quite interesting, she took more shots from outside the box.
Yeah.
you don't necessarily see anyone really take too many of. But
Taylor Hines is probably the most one that you see often goes for goal.
Yeah, and then scores every time, basically.
Yeah. At the weekend as well. It was like a nice.
I know, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially, I think he's played Stengel and Kinnan together quite a lot, which seems to work, because I think Stengel brings the physicality, the shrugging people off the ball, the keeping them off her as well, whereas Kinnan brings the speed. So when you work together, that's quite a nice little well-oiled machine to get your goals from. And I think, if I'm honest, I don't think it was Katie Stengel's day on the weekend. I think she got very trapped in their defence. You didn't see her coming as deep to pick up the ball. You didn't see her running through onto the ball as much. I think they'd very much done their homework on her and her movement and her ability to sort of turn on the heel really quickly and get a shot off. Because I don't think she had a shot all game that I can vaguely remember.
I don't think so, no.
No, so I don't think it was our attacker's day. I also didn't think Taylor Hines had too much of a good day. I think like a couple of sloppy passes got given away and a couple of wayward passes. I feel like, honest, I don't think it was anyone's day.
No, I feel like she couldn't get us forward as much as she liked to. I think that was one thing.
Or either.
I think that's one thing that teams have kind of cottoned on too late with us, is how influential our wing backs actually are. So I feel like Charlton stopped that a little bit at the weekend as well. So they clearly did the homework from the game before as well, which is annoying.
I think Wardlaw as well is another one who you didn't necessarily see too much of. Maybe a little bit more in the second half. She was pinging balls in to the box quite willy-nilly. But I think Wardlaw often finds herself in a lot of space.
Yeah.
A lot of space in that and out wide. And it's great sometimes because she just gets the ball and she pings it in. And for Katie Stengel or Kiernan or anyone, Fernie, for example, to get their head on too. So, yeah, I always find she's got loads of space. But it's a tough one, isn't it? I think what also was interesting is, I don't know how many positions Razza Roberts was in that whole game. It must have been about 4. Yeah, so like she started off sort of like right backy-ish, and she went into like centre back once Meg Campbell had gotten off. So she was like all over the gaff. But I feel like we don't really speak about Razza too much on this podcast, which is probably a little bit of a disservice to her. I feel like whenever she's been asked to come in, whatever position she's been asked to play, she just gets on with it, delivers, and like on to the next. I think she's such an underrated player because we're horrible people. We don't really speak about her that much. Maybe we should. Razza Roberts fan podcast. How about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's great. And even in terms of just like a little bit of experience, like the likes of Wardlaw, who's just starting out in her career, can like learn from her, play with her, work alongside her. But yeah, that was just a bit of Razza appreciation.
Yeah. It's interesting because that was a discussion that was happening on Sunday. Because obviously with Wardlaw only being on loan at the minute, you're not sure the situation that it's going to be with Chelsea in the summer, whether she stays there, whether we have the option to sign her, whether we will sign her.
It's not looking like it with the Chelsea ban at the minute.
No, exactly. So it kind of leaves you with like, do you go out in the summer and get another wing back, or do you simply just play Razza there in that position for the season, which I would not be. I'd have no qualms about that. I don't think.
No, me either.
Like she played the right back role for Wales on international duty.
Yeah,
but I feel like she does have a good. She has a good pass on her, Robert.
Like longwards,
and that's what you want from your wing back. So it's like you're not really losing out on anything, are you?
I think Wardlaw for me is a little bit more attacking than Razza in that sort of position. I mean, Wardlaw seems to be playing a little bit more in midfield the last couple of games. But I'd probably argue that Wardlaw's a little bit more attacking minded. You see a lot putting crosses in, obviously popping up with a goal a few weeks ago. But in terms of bringing in someone new, I don't know. I don't, if it's not broken, why try and fix it or replace it? Do you know what I mean? But like, she's been in the WSL before. She's a great squad member to have around. Like she's one of the senior players in this team. in terms of how long they've been at the club for. So I'd love to see her stay on for next season, and I don't see why not, to be honest. Yeah. It's great to have people that have played in the WSL before with that little bit of experience. It's just whether we're going to splash the cash to bring someone else in. It just depends if Wardlaw stays, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's it. And I think at the minute you've got like a pretty much full squad, so you're going to have to probably sell to buy in some areas as well, which isn't ideal. So
I really wonder what the squad's going to look like.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it changing that much.
Oh, you wouldn't like to think so, but you never know, do you? You never know. But
you know.
Yeah, that now puts us 8 points clear at the top.
Tell you what though, we've got some games coming up.
Some games, yeah. We've got
some games.
Yeah. We need to talk about the Durham games. It's going to be a good day.
It's going to have a crisp.
You enjoy that.
Thanks.
So, 12 o'clock kick-off on Sunday at Prenton Park. Some special guests. They've gone all out this weekend, I feel like.
No, not being funny. I'm getting a picture with John Barnes and I'm inserting it in next week's podcast.
That's fine. Well, you've spoiled one of them there. So there's 2 special guests at the Prenton on Sunday.
I'm also going to get a picture with Farrah Williams.
Oh, here we go. Well done. You said them both now. Yeah, so they're both at Prenton on Sunday, which is exciting. I think there's going to be like a little Q&A and like DJ session and stuff.
We get our questions prepped. What do you want to ask them?
We'll get some questions prepped, and then the family park's going to be there and stuff, which is, we still need to get ourselves in there, but I don't think we quite fit in with all the little kids when they're playing.
No, we've got to do it before at least the end of the season.
Yeah. Maybe Sunday's the one. Maybe that's the time.
Maybe me and you take on Farrah and John.
Yeah. Sound. I'd pay to see it.
In a little ring.
I'd pay to see it.
I think we'd get absolutely schooled.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
10%. I'd hold me in for as long as possible,
though.
Yeah. But I think so as well.
Maybe we just like lie in the goal and make it impossible.
We just stand on the line and just let them hit shots and just see what doing and what doesn't.
If Farrah and John, if you're watching this, I challenge you to a game of 2 bounce.
2 bounce.
1 bounce. 1 bounce.
1 bounce, yeah.
Where 2 came from? I don't know where 2 came from.
But yeah, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be an interesting game. Durham aren't in the best of form the last couple of weeks. So
they've had a bit of a dip this season, haven't they? And I wasn't expecting that from Durham, because usually they're very, very much on it.
They are. But yeah, they haven't played the best in recent weeks, which kind of plays into our favour. But then, you never know. They could just hit form at the right time at the end of the season.
No, look, they probably will.
Yeah, so fingers crossed we get the win there. That would be an important 3 points. And then you place Bristol away.
Oh, big game that.
Top of the table clash.
You know, there's been 3,000 tickets sold already.
Really? I'm looking into going to that one, to be honest, because I feel like that's going to be a really good game. It paused on a lovely picture of you then, Amy, eating you, Chris. I wish I had advantage.
I'm not eating anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but yeah.
I'm really annoyed actually. I was supposed to be going to Bristol with work, and then something else came up, and I was like, oh, I don't think I can go anymore. So then I didn't go. But now I should have gone, because that could be the bloody league decider.
Yeah. And then you're missing Sheffield as well.
Although, loophole with Sheffield, I might be able to come, because I might bring my family along with me.
Oh, okay. There might be a thing.
Well, my grandparents, they don't really like follow the women's team, but because we do this podcast, they always watch the podcast, so they kind of get the gist of what's going on. And they've never been to a women's game before. So I was like, oh, okay, well, they're going to be across that weekend because it's my graduation. Then why don't we all just go?
Yeah. That'd be a good
day. All planned out.
That'd be a nice day.
Get Mr. Roland.
Isn't it the derby that weekend as well?
It's a busy weekend. It is at 4:30.
Yeah. So I'm
No, derby at 4:30, is it 6:30?
I don't know. It's been moved though, so I'm not sure. But I'm stressed. I'm stressed about it because it's at Anfield, so obviously I've got a ticket to go.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to be like, game finishes, post-match, across the pond, back to Liverpool, straight to Anfield.
It's going to be a tight squeeze, that, but I think
you'll be a really tight squeeze. I'm really stressed.
You will make it work.
Really stressed. So
you're going to be fine.
I'm going to have to figure out my timings and work it well. But I reckon I can do.
Well, I don't. What time is the Sheffield kickoff? Let me check.
It's 2, I think.
The kickoff at Sheffield. Surely they're going to move that. It is. Yeah, it's 2 till 4. And the men's game doesn't start until. Let's double check the derby. I think it's 4:30 if I remember correctly.
I think it's 4:30 kickoff. So.
Let me have a look.
It's a bit of a tight.
It is. Yeah, it is 4:30. Surely they might change the women's to 12. Surely.
They're gonna have to. It's
a big game to miss that. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna do both, even if it means I have to leave like 5 minutes early. Is what it is. But I'll do both. I can make it work. But yeah.
I believe
as well. But yeah, if you haven't got your tickets for Sunday, 12 o'clock kickoff at Durham. Men's internationals, so if you haven't been before, now's the perfect time to get yourself down to Prenton. It's going to be a really fun day, fun, exciting day. So,
meet Blooming John Barnes and Farrah Williams.
Exactly. So, and you can see us get absolutely schooled.
So, is that actually happening?
No, I'm not going to embarrass myself like that.
Maybe me and you should just go at one time.
Yeah.
When no one else is there.
Yeah. Just before kickoff when everyone's inside.
When everyone's already got in and it's just us and the burger van.
Yeah.
The burger van can be referee.
Yeah. They just sit there. Like, because when I went to get my coat at half time, they were just like sitting in the van.
No, they weren't still there, were they?
Yeah, they were just sitting there. And I was like, guys, get yourself in the
You would have thought they'd just get off because I guess they get them.
I don't know whether
Why would they not come in and watch the game?
I don't know whether you can come out at half time and get something though. I'm not sure.
Must be able to.
Because they were still there. And I was like, guys, I'll just go home or get yourself inside, do you know what I mean? Watch the match.
Go and watch it, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Weird.
Well,
weird.
Anywho.
I feel like we need to get a burger from there because we haven't yet. Looks a bit like fatty, doesn't it? Like it's a bit calorific.
A bit heavy on the stomach, I'm not gonna lie.
What did you have at the Clipper?
I had some tacos.
Oh.
And I had.
You see, if the burger van sold tacos, that would be nice.
And I had some bacon and cheese waffle fries.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah. I couldn't finish all the waffle fries. It was too much.
No, it's a bit much, isn't it?
It was nice.
Wow.
That's great.
I'm jealous. I had with some friends. Oh no, this Wi-Fi is not okay.
I know. Is it mine or yours? But your internet connection is unstable. It's me. Obviously, it's me. But yeah.
Amazing.
We've waffled on there for a good 20 minutes. I feel like so. Yeah, it's just nice that we can just talk about the Reds.
It is. Do you remember when our videos used to be like over an hour? I feel like in the office it's a lot easier to talk for longer.
It is.
Why?
It is. Oh, we don't have that. We don't have the facilities for that big man.
Don't have the facilities for that big man.
Yeah. So, we'll be there again soon.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a way, isn't it?
Doesn't quite fit in the schedule. Which is annoying. It's very annoying for us as well. We
will once. You know what? Right, let's make a pact now.
Oh God!
If Liverpool get promoted this season, We have. But if Liverpool get promoted this season, we will bring back office podcasts.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that.
High five to salute that. Boom. Amazing. Okay, cool. I'll take. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Nailed it.
So that's a good place to wrap it up then. People will hold us to that as well, which is good.
Yep.
But yeah,
I immediately regretted.
We'll see. Even if it's just one. But yeah.
Loophole.
Loophole. We did it, but one. But yeah. Thank you very much for watching this week's podcast. We hope you enjoyed us just waffling about Liverpool. But yeah, thank you very much. Remember to like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all our social medias as well. We recently hit 3,000 followers on Twitter. We're at like 3,025 or something now, which is...
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, everyone. But yeah, all the links are in the description below for social medias and whatnot, so give us a follow there. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time. We'll see you all on Sunday for some post-match review. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Woo!
Bye!